Noah, how are you doing today?
Hey Zion, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm pretty good. It's been a pretty good day today. It's not sunny outside. That's kind of sad, but for the most part, it's a good day.
Oh, you know what? We forgot something.
What did we forget?
We forgot to do the intro.
Let's hop into it. From PBS NewsHour Student Reporting Labs
And WETA Wellbeings.
This is On Our Minds
With Noah
and Zion.
A podcast about teenagers and mental health. Because life is hard.
Really hard.
And hearing stories about what other teens are going through and how they're getting better, it helps. Wow, that was kind of surreal, you know? It's been a while since we've done that last.
It definitely has, but I feel like we improved.
Yeah, and it might have been a while since we've done the intro, but it's actually not the first time we've talked to each other in a while. We actually got to see each other in person a few weeks ago for South by Southwest EDU.
Yeah, we did. South by Southwest EDU is an annual educational conference in Austin, Texas. We were chosen with Student Reporting Labs to speak about On Our Minds in a panel.
Yeah, and the panel was a lot of fun. It was a little nerve-wracking at first to step on stage in front of a bunch of people, but it was really comfortable. There was a lot of great questions asked, and I feel like we gave a lot of good answers.
Yeah, I was definitely very, very nervous. Oh my gosh, I was shaking in my boots. I really was.
Yeah, I especially enjoyed the little audience interaction that we had at the end of the panel. We asked people who they went to for help in their teenage years, or if they are teenagers, who they go to now.
Here's an excerpt from the audience's participation part.
I kind of find myself coming to my friend Jeremiah a lot. He's helped me through kind of a dark time. Still kind of a dark time. It's stupid. It's over a girl. And I found myself thinking about her a lot, maybe a little bit too much. Kind of, stopped focusing on my studies and started acting different around my friends and stuff like that. And I was kind of in a dark place. And then I talked to this dude over here. He kind of helped me out a little bit. And, I'm sort of on a road to recovery, I guess. So, yeah.
I immediately started thinking of myself in high school. So the first person that came to mind was my best friend, John. And John and I had a secret. We had the same secret, which was that we had a learning disability. And having a learning disability created an environment for us where we felt incredibly anxious, incredibly alone, incredibly stressed, and felt stigma every single day from the school system we were in. But that community, that small little community of John and I being able to come together and vent and talk about what it was like to not want to read in front of the rest of the class, or not want to talk about having to get accommodations or getting those types of supports, was the first and only community that I had in high school, and actually became the birth of what I do today is my career. And so I just want to commend the students and just remember that small community can make such a huge difference.
Noah, I can't believe our time is over. It's been a blast.
Yeah, we've had a good run with On Our Minds, but unfortunately we're getting fired. No, I'm just kidding. We are actually choosing 2 new hosts for On Our Minds Season 2 to give another set of students the great opportunity that Student Reporting Labs is offering.
Yeah, their names are Matt and Faiza, and we're super excited to have them.
Up next, we're actually going to speak with Matt and Faiza. We're going to go ahead and ask them a little bit about themselves and pass over the microphone. Matt and Faiza, how are you guys doing today?
I'm doing great.
Hi Noah, I'm also doing great. Thanks for asking.
So guys, let's get to know each other a little better. Where are you guys from?
I am from New Jersey. I am from Bergen County. I don't know, we have Garden State Plaza, that's a big mall, so that's our main tourist attraction, but more or less there's really nothing to do in New Jersey, so yeah.
I'm from Maryland. I go to school in Baltimore County. Other than Baltimore City, there's really nothing to do near here, other than the malls, I guess, and a lot of boba shops, which is great, but yeah, that's it.
I kind of feel like it's like that for everyone. When you live kind of in a small town. I live in a smallish town outside of Detroit, Michigan. And yeah, it's really nothing to do but go to the mall, honestly. But it's still fun.
Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
So my family is from Indonesia, which is a multi-island nation in Asia. So we're like kind of Pacific Islanders, but also Asian at the same time. And there's a large diversity in religions, cultures, stuff like that. And we have a ton of languages, and it's really a great place. It's a tropical place, so it's really hot and humid when you do visit, but it's definitely a country that you should look into and enjoy.
And then for me, I am Latino, and just for my family background where they're from, my mom was born in Queens, and she is half Peruvian and half Ecuadorian. And then my dad is from Colombia, more specifically Medellin, Colombia. So I guess I consider myself kind of like half and half of them. And then I grew up in a Christian household. I'm not necessarily Christian, but that is the way I grew up. And then I do identify as gay, or more specifically just as a member of the LGBTQ community.
That's why I think it's so great that SRL is like getting you guys to do it, because you guys can offer a different perspective than me and Noah.
So what made the two of you apply for the podcast host position?
I personally discovered On Our Minds like I think a week before the application came out, so it was great timing. And I remember while listening to the podcast, I felt like it was a warm hug but also super informative, and it kind of like validated my feelings before we entered in-person school, knowing that my anxiety and any stressors would probably peak because of the beginning of school. So if I knew I could bring the comfort that you two have brought to the audience and to me personally, I was like, I would love to take this chance on.
Thank you. I'm glad you find us comforting.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice to hear.
So for me, this was actually coming at a time from when my school specifically was starting a lot of mindfulness initiatives. So we had like a large assembly, which was, so I'm a junior, so it was just like our junior full class in the auditorium, and they had an assembly on mindfulness. And then our school kind of started doing these like convention workshops in the middle of the day this one week. And long story short, like for a multitude of reasons, these workshops were just like extremely bad and very like, I guess like they didn't really take students seriously, but then at some points they gave like extremely heavy topics expecting students to understand them. And basically just after that, like we had a ton of I guess like outcries in our school. There were so many new like student advocacy unions created on social media and stuff like that from our school. I think I just realized that like I really enjoyed, like when we had these conversations with my friends, I really enjoyed talking about what I thought that the school could do better, because it's not always just like, oh wow, like the school doesn't understand us, like I hate this, like this is so bad. But I feel like lots of the times we had like constructive criticism for these types of programs that we thought that if the school listened to, that they would be able to do a better job. So I think that being able to have like I guess like public space to be able to have those conversations with a larger viewership, I think is really cool. So I think that that's kind of what pushed me to doing this podcast.
I think it is amazing that the student body of your school district just decided to get together and try to change things.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And I commend you for wanting to do this. Well, both of you for wanting to do this, because this is honestly having this type of opportunity. I know it's kind of overdramatic to say, but for me, it was kind of life-changing. It was amazing. So good job, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
For you guys, now after hosting On Our Minds, what does mental health mean to you, and has the production of the podcast influenced that definition?
I feel like mental health is something that you have to take time with, something that you have to, I don't know, in a way cherish it and really pay attention to it. So to me now, it's kind of like the center of my life, or at least I try to make it the center of my life, especially after doing this podcast and talking to people about it and really understanding what it is and how to develop a healthy mental state. I feel like the podcast, it just really helped me overall, just really understand who I wanted to be in my mental health journey and how to get there.
This is actually a kind of a difficult question for me personally. I have gone through so much in the past year, mental health wise. I've been struggling with balancing medication, finding the right one, trying to dig into my past trauma and emotions, trying to figure out why I wake up unhappy. And if I had to predict what having a healthy mental health will be for me, it's understanding why I went through what I went through, how I reacted to all of it, and how I prevent myself from, falling off the wagon.
Yeah, I think that's really important to recognize that, like, just like your mental health journey, like your definition of a healthy mental health will always be developing. And that's why I asked you to, like, if you had any difference with that. And thank you for being really personal. That's like, that was really like important to recognize that each of us has our own journey and each of us has our own definitions. So, yeah.
I completely agree. Is there anything you would like to say before we officially pass the microphone on, Zion?
Yeah, I think one thing I would like to say is that I had a great time doing this. Honestly, it's brought so many opportunities I never imagined I would be able to have at such a young age. And and I guess a little advice to Matt and Faiza is just to be yourself and have fun.
Yeah, and the one thing that you guys are going to learn is about doing the credits is that pronunciation just takes the longest.
Well, how about Matt? We can try it.
Let's give it a shot. Today's episode was produced by Zion Williams from FV Pankow Center in Clinton Township, Michigan.
And Noah Konevitch from Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
With help from Student Reporting Lab's youth media producer, Briget Ganske.
Production assistance from Jaylah Moore-Ross.
Executive producer Leah Klapman, SRL Senior Director Elise Estrada, and help from the rest of the Student Reporting Lab staff.
And music by Blue Dot Sessions.
If you or someone you know needs help, we have a list of resources at studentreportinglabs.org/mental health resources.
And tell your friends about us. Spread the word. The more people who know about mental health, the better.
All right, you guys got it.
You guys did awesome. That was oh my gosh, that was amazing. That was really good, guys. Good job.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you too.
You guys are gonna do awesome. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.